Okay, switching. Hey everybody, welcome back to Ninja Monkey Gaming. This is episode number 14. I am Joe the Widget Wilson, and we are back. I'm a little bit confoogled here. I got everything going all at once, all over the place. Let me switch my screens to the proper areas. Alright, there's my notes. And like I said, I am Joe the Widget Wilson, your lead host, and I am followed by all you, but I am joined by my amazing co-host, for which this show would not be a possibility, or even a fraction as cool. I am joined, as always, by my right-hand compadre, Mr. Justin Blatecki, a.k.a. Nevosi.
Hi. Following the recent news.
Following the recent news?
Following Joe's following.
Following the... Okay, yeah. Following the following.
The following broadcast is brought to you by...
I have to keep Skype open because I'm expecting a chance that a special guest might appear on the show tonight. I'm afraid it might crash my PC. Just cross your fingers, everybody. All right. Chuck could not make it tonight. He is out on business. We miss him, but hopefully we'll see him next week on the show. James is AFK. In other words, we have... I was going to do some kind of acronym, so that would be cool with that.
MIA?
AWOL.
He's AWOL. We have no idea what happened to him. He didn't appear anywhere on Skype today, so if he showed up in the middle of the show, he showed up in the middle of the show. If not, we have a special guest tonight. Those of you who might have heard mine and Justin's other show, or watched it, Elder Scrolling Online, our co-host from that, Mr. Fred Warner, is here. Warner.
Hey. How are you?
A.K.A.
Joe, thanks for having me.
Baradon. Hey, it's my pleasure. I'm really grateful you're here tonight. Otherwise, me and Justin would be doing this duo.
Well, I appreciate your asking me. It's an honor to be on Ninja Monkeys. Like I said, now I get a pin.
You get a pin. Set in stone. All right, guys.
Anytime you need me, I'll be here for you, bro.
I appreciate it. The game I'm working for asked me to bring this up. And let me pull the information up because I am spacing it. I should have had this already prepared. We are trying to get to E3.
Yeah.
And this is what we're trying to do. And we're doing that through what's called the E3 Crash. And it's a organization that is allowing the top 10 indies who are scoring on their little game to go to E3. And if that happens, I will hopefully be going with my team to LA to go in this year's E3. Utheros is a fantastic MMO, and we want to get the word out about it. So what we need everybody to do is to go to this site right here on my screen, and that is indiescrash3.com. Actually, the proper way to go, let me see here, tinyurl.com/Utheros, Utheros, Indie Crash. All one word. Utheros Indie Crash. So tinyurl.com/Utheros Indie Crash. I'll get it right one of these days. Go on there, sign up, and go into the game and start clicking away. So just go in, click to support. They'll send you an email. You go with that URL they send you, and a little game appears. Start clicking away. As many points as you can get us, we would be most grateful. Also, I want to mention the fact that we are going to be giving a free copy of the alpha of our game to the top 10 scores. If you already have a copy of the alpha and already a supporter, then you will be getting a special Wyvern game launch. So, top 10 scores, free alpha or the Wyvern. So, get in there, support us. We'd really appreciate it. All right, guys.
I'm over 3 million right now.
You are?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at our total score is at over 3 billion.
Yeah, I know. I'm only a insignificant amount, but hey, every
little
bit counts.
Every bit helps. If we win by 3 million, Fred, you did your part, man.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, we need to get. I think we're around the 20s, somewhere in the 20s right now. We need to get to approximately 50 to 60 billion before we can hit the top that we need to hit. So we need more and more people to help us out. get in there clicking, and we really appreciate it. Get us to E3. E3 is very, very difficult to get into if you're an indie. Very, very difficult. I know that the guys are planning on going to PAX Prime. We were at PAX East, so E3 would be a huge, huge, huge help for us. All right, guys. So we don't have much in the way of the notes tonight. It might be a shorter show tonight, but we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
The only really big news, really, was the fact that there was 2 giant releases yesterday. That one was Mortal Kombat X, and the other one was Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PC, which I still want so badly, but obviously with the way my job is, I get no income right now, so I have no money to buy any games. So, but that's something I'll have to live with. Oh, Racer, you're my hero. I want to welcome everybody in chat. You are our 5th host. If you have any comments, questions, you want to join the chat, or join in the conversations that we'll be getting into tonight, please talk about it in chat, and we will get to your questions, comments, as they pertain to the show. We will be getting some hard-hitting topics in a little bit. I want to try to get the guys into a good debate. And why do I have another ping? Okay. Anyway, wasn't the one I was hoping for. So, Mortal Kombat X. The mechanics of the fighting mechanics are really neat. The way they did the fighting mechanics is very, very Mortal Kombat. The graphics are phenomenal to new machines. It's really, really cool on that end. However, I sat down and I watched the fatalities today, and it literally made me sick. I was white. I had to stop watching it halfway through and go do other things because it was that bad. I mean, when you watch Melina sit there and start eating, what's her name? The buff chick, I can't think of her name. Anyway, another companion, and she starts eating her stomach, and she starts trying to crawl away in fear, pulling herself apart with her liver and intestines trailing behind her. It was just the nastiest thing I've ever seen. Disgusting.
Without a doubt.
Nasty, but I'm into gory things, so it really didn't do too much to me.
I can't even show the fatalities on the air.
No, I wouldn't recommend doing that.
No, I
Not
can't
even
do
close.
that.
You're going to end up having probably somebody coming back at you and saying, "What's wrong with you?" Some of the stuff that they show is I'm shocked. I mean, yes, I'm a little older than you guys, so I mean, maybe I'm a little old fashioned. But when I seen some of that stuff myself, when I was looking up, when I saw the show notes, and I looked at the fatalities, I was an EMT for 20 years, and I mean, I've seen some gross things. I did never see, even though that's animated, it's comic, it's whatever you want to call it. I couldn't watch it all.
Well, they
Somebody
did.
split in half.
Yeah, and they did it. They did it biologically correct. They put all the organs and everything in the right spot, and they look as they should. And it's disgusting how they're ripping each other apart. Like, for instance, Sub-Zero blasting a hole into the guy with his spine exposed, reaches in there, grabs the spine, snaps it in half, and splits him in half, with the guts and everything going everywhere. It's just, why? Now, I love.
Doesn't need to be that.
No,
it just doesn't need to be that way.
I am a big Mortal Kombat fan because of the play mechanics and the story, and the old way of gory, with like the worst thing they ever did was Mortal Kombat 1. You guys remember with Sub-Zero ripping the spine and head off in 8-bit, 16-bit format, was nasty at the time, but this has gotten overkill. They're just getting nasty to be nasty. Now, mind you, the mechanics of the game are really cool. You have 3 different fighting styles you can choose from each different combatant. They have DLC characters, which, of course, every game in the world is doing this nowadays. Let's go ahead and split our game in half and then just sell the other half in chunks so we can make more money. I understand that the production costs are very, very expensive in games. I mean, I've been in the game industry for several years. I mean, geez, I'm feeling it. I'm going on 18 years in the industry, and it's changed so dramatically since when I did it. I mean, I remember our production team for Tomorrow Never Dies consisted of 21 people. And it took us a year and a half to produce the game. Nowadays, you can't do, like, ESO had 222 people working on it for 5 years. That's just the way it is. And
yeah, something like that.
the cost of the production was millions. Millions.
Yeah.
Hundreds of millions. And then you look at how much Advanced Warfare cost. They paid millions just to the voice to the actors.
I was just going to say that the
Oh, yeah.
entertainment factor.
But they're so good nowadays with the storytelling, with the animation, that it is movie-like. I was playing Advanced Warfare, the campaign mode at a buddy's house. He walked over my shoulder and was looking at me going, "What movie you watching, Joe?" And I told him, "No, wait, stop. Look at this. Does it look like a movie to you?" He got closer and looked at it. "This is animated. What the hell?" Yep.
So good today that it looks real. And that's an issue, in my
That
opinion.
is so scary sometimes.
Yeah.
But it just brings us one closer to hopefully more realistic VR. Hopefully, maybe.
We're getting there.
When VR.
It's coming.
When
There's
VR
no
gets
doubt
there.
about it. It's coming.
The Oculus graphics are a few steps behind current, but
Oh yeah.
the virtual reality of it is nice. I mean, I've used the Oculus a few times now, quite a few times, in multiple different games, and it's fun. It's gimmicky right now. Most of the games being developed are very, very gimmicky, but you got to expect that from a new innovation like that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping.
I don't think we're 10 years away from seeing really good VR. I mean, that you can
No.
just sit down and it's less than 10 years.
It's getting closer though, Fred, which is the
Yeah.
awesome thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think within the next 10 years, we'll all be able to sit down and
And you got even
into
Microsoft
that.
working on an augmented reality set.
in Windows 10, it's in that OS.
Which is really cool too.
Yep.
They did. If you watch the Microsoft augmented reality demo, they actually put Minecraft in the real world.
Yes.
That wasn't awesome. If they can make it actually look and play and feel like that, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I'd be in Cloud 9. You wouldn't get me out of it.
Yeah, I'd probably get back into Minecraft for that one.
My boss Al would probably come trying to get a hold of me. Joe, hello, Joe.
Where are you?
Joe, we got stuff to do. Joe. A what? Like a 15-inch beard. And... yeah. So GTA 5, another game, a game I want to play so badly. I have a whole plan to do a Twitch series, between an hour and 2 hours per session, playing through the entire game. The game looks incredible. I was watching videos today of the 4K definition Ultra. It's amazing. I've never seen a game look so pretty. I know it's a direct port, but they did add extra content in for the PC version. They changed a lot of features for the PC version, and it's got the best graphics of all versions by far. It looks amazing. Rockstar outdid themselves when it came to the port. Now, the thing about Rockstar games, you gotta remember, is that they are crude to be crude. But the stories they tell in those games, when you get past all the language and the effed up characters, is really, really good storytelling. The Grand Theft Auto storytelling is normally very good, very real world, and could be placed into a movie. They do a great job at that. I mean, I was playing GTA 5 on my PlayStation 3. The story drove me in, but I couldn't let my kids in the room when I was playing it
Right.
because it just wasn't good for them. But for an adult, for my entertainment value, it's an amazing game. Being able to pilot helicopters, airplanes, and all kinds of boats and watercraft and all kinds of cars, it's a blast. I can't wait to get it. I can't afford it. If anyone's willing to gift it to me, most in your debt, greatly in your debt, so I can start my video series. All right, so, let's go ahead and revisit that idea of how games are releasing at half potential just to make the extra money on DLC. what is your guys' take on that? I know we've talked about this previously in the past, but we have Fred here. I also want to hear his take on it.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
first off, I think you're being gypped. Excuse me.
yeah, pretty much.
The bottom line is you pay for a product. You put $50 out or whatever it is for the package. You expect to have the package.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to put more out to get what should have been a part of that package. I don't like it.
It's like what Mortal
We're
Kombat.
not talking, we're not talking MMOs here or anything. We're talking
No.
about
Your
a
general
solo play
release
game.
games, yeah.
Right. So that's wrong. I would feel very upset if I was told, this is not something that's part of the game. You have to finish it. You get to this point. Oh, now you have to buy this in order to get the rest of it.
I ran the numbers. Mortal Kombat X, okay, so they have a very large chunk of characters that you can play without the gate, but there's like, I didn't see exactly, I don't remember exactly what it was, like 5 to 10 characters that you could purchase as DLC, and they did that right off the game's release. That is shaky. That's very, very shaky ground. If they know, I can understand
Yeah.
if they made new characters as the game after game release, 3-4 months down the line, and they did that periodically, then that's fine. I get it. All right, you at least gave me, at least made me feel like I got a full game when I paid my $60 for this game. Now you're telling me I have to spend $5 per character more, winding up being a $120 game
Yeah.
to get
and
everything
would,
that you release with.
Yeah, that would definitely make me
Yeah.
think twice about buying the game and supporting that developer.
Well, and Total War has been notorious for doing this, like the past 4 or 5 games that they've released, or Creative Assembly, the Total War series in general.
Yeah.
And all the nations and stuff are already in the game, but they release them in chunks, in small chunks of just culture packs that you can play with different nations, different units, but all those mechanics and units are already in the game.
Yeah,
And you have to buy the game.
Yeah, you got to pay the Total War game now costs around $60. When they first started doing it, it was around 40, so it was tolerable. Now it's
So
about
you-
$60 for the game, and then you got to pay another $5 to $10, depending on the size of the culture pack they're releasing,
Wow.
for different cultures to play in the game. Because in from Rome 1, well, in the other Total War games, like Rome Total War 1, the first one, they once you defeated the game, you were able to play all the nations. Or if you defeated a nation, you were able to play that nation. And now they just release them as DLC and make extra money off it.
there are two
Kinda annoying.
major producers that are huge, huge money grabbers that everyone knows of: Activision and EA. EA. Activision has been really bad with their Call of Duty series. I mean, Call of Duty, they launch a game and they say, we want you to spend another $50 after you buy a $50 game or $60 game to get our season pass for a total of like 8 extra maps and a couple extra guns a year later. That's BS. That's way overpriced. If it was $5 per pack, cool, I'm in. But this $50 to get 4 DLCs and 8 maps is stupid. EA's the worst of all of them. Look at Sims 4. Sims 4 was a very partial game when it launched. You compare it to Sims 3 when Sims 3 launched, and it's like not even half of what that is.
Yeah.
Because what their idea is they're going to just add more packs to it and throw packs at you and charge you $40 a pop for them. It's stupid.
Well, but who's stupid?
The consumer.
Yeah. The people who are willing to let them get away with it. They're the ones that are the problem. I mean, if everybody's willing to buy the games and then feed the developers, then nobody's to blame but the consumer, because we're feeding that. We're letting that happen. I saw with, like, for example, Madden was fine all the years, and then all of a sudden, I think, what was it, Madden 25, or was it the year before that, where they started adding, you got the cards that you can purchase from EA and all that crap.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, but The one thing about Sims 4 is though is you kind of go in expecting that. They've been doing that since Sims 1.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I did buy. Well, it was a birthday present. I got the Sims 4 gift pack, the expansion. But even then,
Yeah.
what's been really upsetting me is that's broken. Half the features in that expansion you can't use. For instance,
I haven't run into that problem.
my Sim's doing a store. He's got an art store, and you can get employees. The employees, two of their functions don't work. You can have them restock sold items, and you can have them answer questions to the clientele. They will not, above any circumstances, ring out or cash out any person. So your character has to do it, and you lose a lot of sales because of it. Because after a while, obviously they lose interest, the customers, and go away because the employees will not do it. It's a bug in the game. It's a known bug. EA is aware of it. You can't use that key feature. In fact, once you buy advertising for the first time for your store, you can never buy it again. It's supposed to, like it says in the tooltip, once the advertising's done, you can then buy new ads. It doesn't. It grays out, and several days after it already expired, you cannot do advertising again. So there's still quite a things that are bugged with it. They did release a recent patch that fixed some of the major issues. They still got some more to fix. They're aware of it, but releasing something like that for $40 and it only being half working is not acceptable. EA is notorious for broken crap. Look at SimCity. The new SimCity was god awful. It was broke to hell.
Oh yeah, it was. Its release was awful.
It ruined the game.
It's improved a lot. It's improved a lot. But
It's what people
was
have
awful to start.
become used to accepting, though. As a whole. I mean, we complain about it, but we always accept it. We go out and buy it anyway.
Oh, I didn't
people-
accept the SimCity thing. I actually had quite a few nasty letters sent to EA about it. They wound up refunding my money for SimCity, and I got to keep the game, and I haven't played it since.
Well, I'm saying when I say we, I mean as a society.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I'm just saying as a society, we just get excited about a game coming out. It comes out and we drool and grab it. Everybody's there's hundreds of thousands of copies purchased, and the game wasn't ready anyway. It really shouldn't have went gold. And so what? There's bugs galore, and the developer put it out, and the next thing you know, there's a patch 3 months later that really should have been the
actual release.
The actual release.
Last week's episode, we talked about
What
indies.
games does this sound like familiar, Joe?
Yeah, right.
Well, we could probably make a list, couldn't we?
Yeah, right. Last week we talked about indies and what the positives and negatives of them are. In my mind, indies right now are such a phenomenal good idea because it's lowering the cost of gaming for the general public on that end, and not only is it supporting the independent developer, but it's also pressuring the big box guys to rethink their marketing and how they're restructuring their gaming. They're starting to get the hint slowly. Some of the developers are not, obviously EA, Activision, but it's starting to make an impact, and that is what I'm excited about because gaming's becoming a very, very expensive hobby. I really want to get GTA, but I cannot afford it. I gotta feed my family,
You miss the days when you actually had to go somewhere to put that quarter in?
Oh, I miss arcades. Oh, that got expensive. You kidding me? Oof.
Yeah, that could get expensive too.
I remember when I was a teenager.
I had arcades.
Me and my cousin had a
I
little...
remember when there were arcades.
Yeah. Me and my cousin, when we were teenagers, had a little gig where we would go around and do a bunch of lawns every week, right? And we'd each make about $20 or $30 a week. And every weekend, we took our bikes, went into town in Mojave, in a little dinky arcade we had there, and spent all of it.
I used to get a roll of quarters and go to the arcade and mall and just spend hours there.
I never had to deal too much with quarters. I was past quarters. I was all tokens, and then I got the start of the little cards with credits on them.
All right, guys.
Well,
so
man,
before
I remember Pong.
before we get into our big topics of the night, I mean that one topic right there, that one piece of news, almost took up half of our show time. So,
Sorry.
no, sorry. That was phenomenal. I loved it. Wargaming announced yesterday that if you pre-order one of the ship bundles for World of Warships, the price is ranging anywhere from $29.99. That's for a Tier 4 premium ship, a slot, 1,500 gold, and 30 days premium to $70, which is 3 premium ships, 3 slots, 3 months premium time, 5,500 gold. You will get instant access to the closed beta.
There you go. So if you haven't been lucky to get a key yet, there's your in.
Another cool thing about it is if you do
which
any...
also means you'll probably have access to the open. You'll probably be one of the first people to get access to the open beta too.
Well, it's a guarantee. Anyone in closed beta gets
Open
access into
beta.
it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, Justin.
God, Justin.
I didn't think that went through. I was just like, I'm gonna finish it now.
Oh my Lord. Have mercy.
We love you, Justin. We love you.
I didn't think that went through.
All right. So, one of the cool things I said is that if you get one of these premium packs, or if you get even the pre-order the gold, for instance, like I got in a lot of trouble for getting a small amount of gold. You'll get the gold and everything right in closed beta, and then when open beta, it'll be reset for you, and when game goes live, it'll be reset for you again, so you get 3 times what you're paying for during the betas.
That's a bargain.
Well, they're also
closed
resetting
beta,
the servers each
open
time.
beta and during the release. There you go.
Yeah.
So
your
it's
premium
always there.
time will reset as well. So your ships will always be there, your premium time will always be there, and your gold will always be there. Well,
Those of you who've been dying to
till
get
they run
in
out.
to the closed beta for World of Warships, go to the worldofwargaming.com, go pre-order one of these premiums. It won't work for the gold, just the gold or just premium time. You have to actually get one of those bundles from anywhere $30 to $70, and you get right into closed beta and you can enjoy the game. So get that done. You'll like it. You'll love the game, in fact.
It's a lot of fun.
All right.
Sure is.
So, Justin, what's going on in the esports world?
Well, League of Legends announced where their worlds are going to be located. We pretty much knew they were going to be in Europe, but now we have the actual locations of where each of the stages are going to take place. The group stages will be done in Paris. The quarterfinals will be done in London. The semifinals will be done in Brussels. And the finals will be held in Germany, in Berlin, at the O2 World Arena, or at the Benz Arena.
Wow.
Currently the O2 World.
That's a big arena.
Yeah, it is.
That's huge.
And then this weekend is the EU and NA LCS Spring Finals. And right now the finals are for EU is Fnatic and Unicorns of Love. Fan favorites are obviously Unicorns of Love. This is Fnatic's 4th straight finals. And Racer brought up, I'll get back to that one in a second. And NA is Team Solo Mid versus Cloud9, and they're the typical finalist for the North American LCS. Racer in our chat brought up the Tanks Grand Finals, and that is next month, I believe. I need to pull that one up again. And that is, I don't know where that one is. I think that one's in Poland again. And StarCraft World Championship Series Season 2's locations have been announced. The championships will be held at the Metro Toronto Convention Center in Canada.
You know, I'm willing to bet.
And those finals are June 26th and through the 28th.
I'm willing to bet that not in the distant future we're gonna actually start having seasons per game. Real, like full, like World Championship gaming seasons, like you do for football. Not just like the individual seasons, like World Tanks and all that, but you know what I mean. All right, so
Well, there is. It is in Warsaw, Poland. This is Tanks Grand Final, or World of Tanks Grand Finals for the Wargaming.net League. The Grand Finals will be in Warsaw, Poland, April 25th through 26th. And
There you
it has
go.
a really cool site.
all right. So what have we been playing this week? I've got a lot to talk about, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that started, if you guys don't mind.
Oh, go ahead. It's all on you.
I played Primal with Justin last night. And we actually had a really good time. I think so.
Yeah, that was the first time in a long time we've had that much fun playing Primal because of all its problems.
Right?
Releasing too early, like we were talking about earlier.
The game is still bugged to hell, but um, we got armored up. We had shotgun ammunition up the yin yang, 308. We had handguns going everywhere, and slaughterfest of raptors. Oh my gosh! Justin went up taking
at
out
like
like
26.
28 or 29. I had 22 or 23. So between us, we had over almost 50 dead dinosaurs in a 2-hour period. We were just going crazy. It was so much fun. Today, I went into it to blow off some steam before the show. And I was on my full loadout, and I was just going around killing stuff and getting more ammo. And I got a whole bunch more ammo. I was all happy. Out of the blue, a stupid raptor with wings came after me, picked me up, took me about 5 miles in the north, and dumped me 5 miles up. So I died instantly. I was upset, but I figured, okay, I'll just spawn and go back and get my gear. I spawned, took 2 steps, I hear... And that game means you better duck and pray. And
that game means just hope he doesn't see you.
That's a T-Rex coming your way. And you got to have a whole lot of ammunition, some really big guns, and some friends. Oh, you're not going to survive the encounter. Unless you can duck down and crawl away from them because they're blind as a bat. Well, the T-Rex stepped on me and killed me as it was passing over me. So I respawned again, thinking I'm going to give it one more shot. I have 10 minutes until showtime, or 5 minutes. So I spawned again, and what do you know? There's a T-Rex right next to me when I spawn. I hit the dirt, and I crawled for 4 minutes, got away from the stupid thing, got up, got one step. Okay, well, before that, that stupid flying rat came after me again. And now in the notes, the recent update said they're supposed to stop attacking you after 2 passes. Well, 4 passes later, he finally starts to fly away. I get 1 step away from my equipment. I hear a little... Next thing I know, I'm being picked up, carried away, and dropped again. And that's when I rage quit the game. So, thanks, Primal. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Where are you getting this game from?
Steam.
It's on Steam.
Oh, okay.
The Hunter Primal.
It just released 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's a
week
I
ago.
thought it was a PS game, so that's why I was.
We gave it so-so reviews, kind of iffy reviews, but
On its release.
yeah, because of the release was too early. But honestly, though, if you play it with a couple of friends just to have fun, it can be a lot of fun. It can.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
All right. So I played some CS:GO last night with Justin and Chuck.
And Chuck.
I am still terrible. Very terrible. And I'm still not a fan. Sorry, I just don't like it. It's to me it just feels way too dated. Not a fan of not being able to aim on most guns. It's just not my thing. I play a lot of ESO with my son this week and my brother. Got my night blade up to 17 or 18. Played Sims 4. Now, my Sims 4, if you guys remember from last week's episode, I had been abducted twice by aliens, impregnated twice by aliens. Well, after that, I decided he was going to have a regular kid, so he's going to get married. Well, he got a fiance, and the very next day, I was thinking, okay, take a break. He's going to get married to the chick, whatever. I call it up to go get married, and it says, but you need to have a fiance. I'm like, what the heck? So I look in my contacts list, and everybody is gone. All the people that were in my world had vanished overnight, as well as all my employees. Everybody was gone. I went back to my store, all new people. All new people, all in the neighborhood. I played it some more today, and I did get another fiance, and I just crossed my fingers, and it gave me the option to elope right now in the store. So I said, screw it, and I hit elope, and we just did it right then and there. So I got to keep my wife this time.
Did everyone in the store cheer for you?
No, actually, no one. Everyone ignored us. We had like all this fanfare going on around us, confetti. We're doing our vows in the middle of a freaking store. And everyone's just sitting there talking. But the my Sim's wife is pregnant with our child.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations, Joe.
I expanded the store. It's making a ton of money now. So
That's good.
the game is going good. I just wish they'd fix the problems with it. I played some more Battlefield Hardline, playing campaign mode. Not very impressed with it right now. I'm gonna hopefully be doing it. I'll get a full review in a future episode. I'm gonna try some multiplayer online. I played City Skyline, which is a good indie Sim City. It's actually very good. I highly recommend checking it out if you're into that Sim City type of thing. And I play World of Warships a lot, up to tier 6 on 3 classes. Justin, what you been up to, man?
I've been playing a lot of CS:GO lately. I really don't know why. It just really been my kind of game to hit for the past week. And I got up to Silver 4 on competitive finally. Yay! And I've been doing our Sims 4 household. That's always fun.
Yeah, how is that going, by the way?
Yeah, yeah, interesting. I'm trying to get a nice little love triangle between Stephanie, James, and Chuck.
Oh my
But
goodness.
for some reason, she keeps going to Joe. I've yet
What?
to figure this out yet. Yeah, I don't know what it is. But she keeps going to you, Joe.
And I haven't
Sounds
burned down
like
the
a
house yet?
soap opera.
Huh?
I haven't burned down the
Sounds
house
like a
yet?
soap opera.
Oh.
No, Joe's sim has not burned down the house yet.
And yes, it is
That's
kind of
good
a
to
soap
hear.
opera, Fred. It's actually very
Yeah,
funny
yeah,
watching Justin play it. It really is.
I make things happen that you really wouldn't want to have happen. Yeah. I try to make it as entertaining as possible. And
Okay.
I've been playing World of Warships. And I've up to tier 6 on 2 classes now, I think. Carrier and
Good for you.
Cruiser.
Yeah, I got Cruiser, Battleship, and Destroyer. I'm loving World of Warships. I think they're doing a phenomenal job with it. There's an audio bug that needs to be fixed badly.
They know it.
I know they know about it. But the game itself is phenomenal. If you haven't played a wargaming game yet, this is the one to try out. Really is.
Oh yeah, I agree.
What about you, Fred? What have you been up to?
Well, I mean, my main game is obviously ESO. That's where we guys met, and I got a lot to do there as being involved with the guild and everything. I am the assistant guild master of the Brotherhood of Redemption, so I got a lot to do.
Yeah, and it's a
but
big
I do
guild
that.
too.
I also, when I'm not doing that, and I do have time to do other games, I am in the World of Warships a lot. I'm not up where you guys are, but I'm nowhere near as good as everybody else here. But they want me to run a cruiser on their team, so I'm trying.
You're doing good. We had
it's
some
tough.
good matches today, Fred.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay. I'm just not as I'm not a battle person, so I don't understand a lot of stuff yet, and it takes time for me to get up to speed. But I have my moments, and I had a couple of them today, as a matter of fact. So I got the fourth. I'm in the fourth. I got 1, 4, 2, 3. So I'm still trying to grow there, and I'm a 5th level now as a whatever. I got my commander, so hopefully that helps for something.
Oh yeah.
And I just picked up RBI Baseball 2015 for my Xbox One because I am a sports person, and so I've been playing a little bit of that lately. And I just got a new Apple 6 Plus, and I'm banging out some Knights of Pen and Paper. I love that game. I love old school D&D. It's right there. And Quiz Up is a great. If you're into trivia, great prop game. I'd give them some props. Quiz Up.
I'm not
Another good game.
into trivia, but I still play that one.
Oh, I love it.
I went undefeated like 15 games in a row for the general gaming one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
That's one thing I have a lot of knowledge in.
Good. And the last game I've been playing on the 6 Plus is Paperama. I don't know if you ever played that, but it's like origami, and you got to fold the paper and make the shape in so many moves. And it's a brain teaser type
puzzle
thing,
game.
and it keeps your brain thinking, and that's important as you age, So I do things like that. So that's what I've been doing.
Awesome. All right,
Yep.
so we got about 20 minutes left of the show.
Okay.
So we're going to get into our big topics of the night. But since I titled the show for MMOs, let's go ahead and hit that topic first.
Okie doke.
And I want to hit the pros and cons of the current MMO genre. And those who don't know, MMO actually stands for Massively Multiplayer Online. Now, the three letters that come after it specifics the subtype genre. Usually what you'll find is MMORPG, Massively Multiplayer Online Role-Playing Game. And that makes up about 99% of the overall MMO market currently. And it's very much pigeonholed itself into being fantasy or sci-fi, and with a lot of subset rules that apply to these MMOs, which is very, very aggravating because they've become a lot of cookie-cutter clones. To me, that's the big con right now, is the fact that it's all the same thing, with sub-variations off of that. There are games out there that are doing something different on the same genre type that does give it a refreshing look. Utheros, one of them. Not just saying it's on the team, but it really does have a refreshing look at the MMO market, because it's mostly a sandbox MMO, which means open world, open crafting type of scenario. They are very, very, very expensive to make. So what a lot of these companies are doing is they're taking, okay, World of Warcraft made millions upon millions and millions of dollars. They did something right, so we're going to try to copy what they did, but they always copy the wrong thing. What they don't understand why World of Warcraft is so popular is they were the masters of the proverbial carrot on the stick. Meaning, there was always something you wanted to go back in to do and get. There was always something you had to get. It was all that shiny that was down the road. They were perfect at that, and a lot of MMOs didn't do that correctly. ESO is under that pigeonholed genre, but there's some pros and negatives to that game as well. They haven't gotten the carrot on the stick concept down right yet, and that's a big problem that they need to fix. They're starting to get there, but it's going slowly. Now, the combat and the story of ESO is A+. There's very few games I've ever seen that actually can match it in that. But I think
genre at least.
What's up?
Not in this genre, at least. Not
Yeah.
in the MMO genre.
Right. Not in this MMO genre, correct. I mean, you can see like single player games that do compare easily.
Yeah.
But not in the MMO market. So, guys, tell me, what is your take on the current MMO market?
There isn't much out there.
No, there's a lot out
well,
there. Just
well, let me finish my statement. There isn't much out there that entertains me, that makes it worth my while to go to, like ESO does. See, it has to have that. For me, it has to have that story,
Mm-hmm.
and it has to have the right type of quests. I can't stand the WoW quest. It's like, seemed to me that when I was playing WoW, at least 70% of them were FedEx and
Oh, very
Kill
much
10.
so. Yeah, very much so.
And there's absolutely no imagination behind their quest systems, and I hated that.
That's one of their big downfalls.
Yeah, and I don't see what the value to the game is. Plus, their graphics are just so cartoony. I couldn't take it after a while.
The thing, Fred, this is I'm going to be playing a lot of devil's advocate with you guys here just to get conversation.
Sure, yeah, sure.
One of the things that ESO is like the questing system. The questing system is very much a cop-out across all fantasy MMOs. It's the same thing. You find an NPC, you go perform their tasks, and you progress to the next stage. There's got to be a way to do that differently and make it refreshing. I know there's games coming out that are going to be doing that, and I'm going to look forward to seeing those, Utheros. But
I think if somebody, the problem is, if you didn't put a mark on a quest giver, and this is what I was going to suggest, that there are games in the past that I think did it right, but were not popular.
Right.
You know, they tried to be realistic to give that, let's immerse, give that, what is it, the immersion? That's what I'm looking for. Here's the immersion factor. You're in the world. Well, people aren't going to really have question marks or, exclamation points or something on top of their heads to tell you this is the person you go see. You have to go up and you have to get involved, and that's the way I would love ESO or any other MMO to do it.
The thing about that though is that you're going to hit the hardcore market. You're going to hit the hardcore RPers and stuff like that for that, but you're not going to get a massive market for it. So you're not going to get the massive influx of money. So
that's why I said it won't be popular.
Yeah,
it won't work. And I know that because not enough people want to think through it.
There's a lot of those niche games out there that I like they need to do more of them actually that cater to a specific demographic. I think that needs to happen more often, and especially in the MMO market, because they have all these refreshing ideas that are new, innovative, and there's a lot wrong with the current MMO market. And I want to clarify this for everybody and the viewers here. What really classifies an MMO is the biggest classification is an active, always running world or environment, constantly evolving world. So something like Call of Duty is not an MMO. Yeah, there's thousands of people playing online against each other, but it's not an active, evolving world that you can log into that's always running with millions of people on the same world. It doesn't happen that way. So things like World of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls Online, EverQuest, things of that nature, those kind of games where they are in that environment, or PlanetSide 2, which is an active, evolving first-person shooter, MMO FPS. What I think needs to occur is other game types need to hit that MMO market. I'm be a huge fan of this. In fact, I think if EA wants to make a buttload of money, excuse my French, but they need to make Sims into some kind of either partial MMO or MMO environment.
Didn't they try that?
They tried that long ago.
Failed. It just failed. Yeah, they did try Sims Online, I think it was called.
Yeah,
the way they did it wasn't true though.
Or a decade ago.
Yeah.
It was still dial up. So.
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't think it was that long ago, was it?
It was a long time ago.
No, it was that long ago.
But I know they did try it, and it just didn't work.
They tried it very quickly after Sims 1, after the huge popularity it got from that.
Yeah.
And then it failed, and then they brought Sims Free to play online for Facebook game, and that actually did okay.
Yeah.
But I would like saying,
I think one of the things they should try is sports-based MMOs.
I don't know how you would pull that off though.
Baseball seasons or football. Well,
there are a couple games out there. Hang on, let me see if I can find one. Continue talking while I do my search.
yeah. I mean, I could see for example, an MLB sanctioned or an NFL sanctioned league-based systems where you're literally the owner - GM of a team.
But see, what classifies an MMO, Fred, though, is the active world that everybody's in. How would you have a world with like thousands of cities and people just have their sports teams in those cities they can just log into?
Right. Right. It could be. It has to obviously be limited. You couldn't all have. Obviously, it would be multiple leagues. I mean, we're designing the game now, right?
Right.
But the reality, I'm just saying, I'm sure there's got to be a way that there's enough people that are NFL fans.
I think you could do something with same thing with racing as well.
Concept.
There is one that's soccer related, and I couldn't remember the name of it, so that's what I was searching, and because I have played it once or twice. It's a MMORPG soccer game, and you're in a town and you're playing different pickup games, and you're in a town actually running around in whatever clothes you have bought and things like that, and you try to get like your value will go up and stuff and things like that, and then you'll get recruited by the Premier League teams, for example, in London or in Great Britain. So
but you're the player.
you're the player.
Okay.
Can you
Running
imagine?
around town and things like that.
Can you imagine an MMO fighter, where you create your fighter and you
That'd be interesting.
train like your skill sets and actually have
You're
to
like a boxer or an MMO fighter.
yeah, you
That'd
can
be
compete
cool.
with people on the street, or you can actually go to major competitions and do like a bracket ladder and things like that. That would be
Joe,
awesome.
here's our
Underground
niche,
fights. Oh,
man.
that'd be
Here's our
fun.
niche.
That's
Let's
it
start
right there.
making sports indie games.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Once we make the skeleton, we could change it for different sports.
You know, the most fun games I ever played that I wish still existed were NFL Blitz, NHL Hits. Oh my gosh, I love those games. The little 5-on-5
Oh, NFL Blitz.
or 3-on-3. Oh my gosh, so much fun.
I love those backyard games. Remember those?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are great.
Yeah,
That
where
puts
they
you
have
on the
like
streets
your
and
little
stuff.
little
Yeah,
kids
those were
and stuff
fun.
like that. Yep.
Oh, the backyard games, not the street games. Yeah, the backyard games
Yeah.
were fun too.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's some genres that just don't lend themselves very well to MMO space, but
No.
it can be done.
And sports, I don't really think is one.
It's
Well-
possible. It would be difficult. It really would. I mean,
It
I
is.
think fighter is a genre that could work. I think it could work very easily. In fact, if
Sure.
with the right people with the right
Yeah, it could be
imagination
almo-
and
You can be different
almost
style
start
of
off as-
fighters, right?
yeah,
We can have
You can almost start
style
off as a fight
fighters.
club kind of
You
thing.
could be a boxer. You could be a martial artist. You could be
and go
a-
around doing quests to build your character and learn your
That's right.
skills, learn new like button combinations that it'd be phenomenal. And
Yeah.
then doing these major competitions, you can even have like this massive MMO server like multi-bracketed sub events where you have to qualify in these multiple events to get to
And in
these
order,
semi
and in order
leagues
to
and
level, you have to fight somebody of the level ahead of you.
there you go. See, that would be phenomenal. That would be so
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I think there's some MMOs out there that could be phenomenal if people just got their head around it. I'm a game designer by trade, so this is what I do for a living, but
Yeah.
it's a possibility, people. I can design them,
Let's do it.
but it'd have to wait until after my current project,
Call
by
it
the way.
Ninja Monkey Corporation or something.
I'd have to wait until after my current project. I'm kind of locked
Well,
into a game right now,
I
so
may not be here, but you guys will.
you better be.
Yeah. God knows, not me.
All right, so that's kind of our MMO segment tonight. We might get into that more later on. We got a couple minutes right now. I'm gonna just go ahead and mention the fact that Blizzard is on the downfall, downswing.
Yes.
This is why they have finally released a unique IP, intellectual property that doesn't exist from their previous games, such as, for instance, Heroes of the Storm. That is a MOBA skinned with World of Warcraft. With Warcraft, it's just
Yep.
Warcraft, and the reason they're doing that is
And-
they're trying to use a nostalgia factor of an existing IP to draw people into it, and Blizzard is trying desperately to get into the esports world, and they are failing. As a matter of fact, Heroes of the Storm is one of the worst MOBAs I've ever played. I don't even like MOBAs, but that one is just I won't touch it. I played it at PAX East. No, thank you.
Yeah. That bad?
I did 2 games of it, and I enjoy MOBAs, and I uninstalled it right after I got done with those 2. I was like, no.
And then you
Unless
have
they do some major overhaul to it,
Right.
it's not going to do very well.
they're stuck on their 3 major IPs: StarCraft, Warcraft, and Diablo. That's all they can do.
Yep.
And their one unique IP that they're coming out with is a direct clone of Team Fortress 2.
Yep.
It's
So they
pathetic.
have no
It
fresh
is.
ideas, huh?
Blizzard used to be the king of the polished game. Their games were
agree.
always polished. They were unique. Now they just completely gotten out of that. I don't know what happened in their company, but they're losing it. The games they're coming out with is nothing but rehashed crap of everything they've done before. Look at Hearthstone. Hearthstone's a TCG based off of Worldcraft. People who love that game usually are World of Warcraft fans.
I don't mind
Warcraft.
it. It's not bad.
It's not bad, no. It's actually halfway enjoyable. I've put hours into it. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that Blizzard needs fresh, new ideas, original IPs, and original games, not
Yep.
these copies that they're coming out with. What do you guys think?
Yep.
Well,
Oh.
I agree with you. Blizzard, I think, is just resting on their laurels of their success and raking in the bucks, and they just probably not really doing a lot of development.
Blizzard's making banking on their hardcore fan group that they have now, built off those 3 games, the Warcraft series, the Warcraft games, the Starcraft games, and the Diablo games, and they're just feeding off the core of them,
Yeah.
and just making other games that aren't unique in any way that those 3 games were at the time.
But the one thing you got to say though is every time you shoot down, Blizzard or Warcraft, something happens. It keeps on coming back.
Well, they're constantly
To play
feeding.
devil's advocate.
Yeah.
I think Blizzard's too big to go down anymore as a game company. I think they're too much of a mainstay to like EA and.
Oh, look at the fact that
Activision
World of
and-
Warcraft was their major title that built that company. They had
Sure.
13 million players at one point.
Yep.
Mind you, over the years, they have been losing a consistent 15 to 20% of their player base every year. They release a new expansion every 2 years, 2 to 3 years, and they get a massive insurge for a month, and then it all drops back down again, where they actually go lower than what they were.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah. They
they're
got the new one now. They can walk in time or something like that. Or
Yeah, their new expansion. I was one of those people that went back for a little bit. I played it for a month and said, I don't like it, and quit. And I won't touch
Yeah.
World of Warcraft again. It's just, they've dumbed it down so badly. It is a dummies MMO.
And I think that's the case of a lot of games now.
They all do it.
They're starting to dumb themselves down too much. They're trying to reach too much of the market, and it's killing them.
And that's not how you reach a market.
No,
I'm sorry.
Mm-mm.
I hated that from the days of UO, and yes, I go back even before that. But I mean, I played in the alpha of UO, and I saw that game as one of the best things that ever happened to since sliced bread. And less than 6 months after the game was released, I hated it.
Yeah, it happens.
They killed it.
Yeah,
And
there
it's
was,
the same thing happens with every game I played.
like PlanetSide 2, I was so super stoked for that game to come out. And I played it for 3 months and realized that it was not the game promised, and I just stopped playing it.
Yeah.
But
there are a
it
lot of them
happens.
that come out and say ABC, and they give you D, E, and F.
Yep. Stick to your promises, game companies. If not, explain why you didn't. Now, I understand in a lot of cases, the game companies will be excited and say, we have these new concepts we're going to be coming out with, and then later on they realize that they can't get it to work, or the player base. Would they look at the noise that we call the noisiest minority? That's the killers of MMOs, is a noisy minority. Those guys ruin it for everybody else. They look at the noisy minority that's complaining on their forums, and not the majority who's enjoying that content that those people are complaining about. And they gotta stop doing
big
that.
game that did that was Warplanes. Warplanes did that.
Mm-hmm.
You had this huge. Sorry about the dog. You had this huge noisy community, or the small noisy community that just started to slowly destroy the game, and not fix what needed to be fixed in the game. They were complaining about all the wrong things.
Yeah.
It's always the case. The trolls and what are you going to do? They're the ones that always talk, and the rest of us just sit back and we don't put anything out on the forums to counter.
Well, they need to stop
if you
looking at
do,
their own
you're-
forums.
Yeah, you're trolled. Yeah.
And the best thing a game company can do would be do like a general survey to the public in their gamer base, like once like every month or so. Put a little in-game survey in your MMO and like, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And just go from that. Don't go with like these 100 people in your forums when you have 100,000 people playing your game that are complaining that one of these classes is broken because they can't beat it in PvP. That's because they're
Right.
idiots. That's their fault, not yours.
And don't set it as an email, because a lot of people don't check their emails, or they have it set to a junk email account. where
in-game,
they're not really looking at it
yeah.
anyways.
An in-game
Send it
poll.
to your game email or something. Send it to the
Put in-game system of some sort for that.
right.
If you want to gauge your community, that's a great way to do it, not forums.
Forums are the worst place to go. The worst place. And if you use your forums, you're basically guaranteeing you're not going to satisfy the people that count.
That's not always entirely true. Go to the fan sites. The fan sites will typically have better forums than the actual game
Well,
forums.
we were talking about the
the game forums
game
directly.
sites forums when we made that statement. So.
All right, guys. Well, we actually had some fantastic conversations tonight. Actually, Fred, I want to thank you so much again for joining us. I think this is one of our
Anytime,
most
brother.
hard-hitting episodes we had. Probably the most complaining one,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
still hard-hitting and fun.
Yeah.
We're at our hour mark, guys. It's time to wrap this up. I think we had a really good show, actually.
Yep.
Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Everybody, if you're in our chat room, follow our channel. We live stream all the time, gaming. Hopefully someday soon I'll be doing my GTA 5 series. If not, I always play Warships. I'll play Sims. I'll do Primal with Justin. Sometimes I'll even do Hardline on stream. Follow my Twitter if you want and just say, Joe, play this and stream it, and I most likely will. So
just don't say a MOBA. He won't do it.
yeah, don't suggest a MOBA. I won't play them. I got burnt too many times. Well, that's it for our show tonight. Everybody have a fantastic evening and keep on gaming, and we'll talk to you guys all next week.
Thanks for coming, Fred. Bye.
See you later, Justin. See you later, Joe.